How much money have you given to any of these frauds on YouTube? How much money have you invested into some crackpot idea that never left the ground? How much money have you given one of these individuals and you still waiting for change to come about? And it's been a number of years, and you can't even challenge me when I talk about it, and you don't dare bring it up because you don't want to look silly. You don't want to feel embarrassed because you often think about, you know what, Keyboard is making a lot of sense. I can't challenge the things that he's talking about because, hell, I look like a fool. I can't lie and say that anybody that I've donated money to has produced change for the better for our society. I can't say that unless I would just straight out just tell a fucking lie. This is how people start to change their way of thinking. And then eventually, hopefully, they rethink their position in trying to support some of these people. You only support them because you believe in them. But then why do you believe in them in the first place? What did they do? What was the one thing that they done that made you say, okay, now I'm going to support them because I believe in everything that they're saying? But they have yet to prove anything that they have told you. So when did they prove it? See, you jumped the gun. You didn't wait for them to actually show you the proof that you really would need to make a decision like that. This is a big decision. You just don't start following people just because. Oh, it sounds good. And, you know, they have 10,000 other people that's following them, so I guess everything is legitimate. Okay. You become a subscriber, and then next thing you know, they start begging for money, and you can't wait to give you a little $20 or $40 or $50, and you know, and then the next time they beg for money, and then you give again, and you still excited, you still in that little fresh, fresh and new mode. And after the fifth or sixth time, you start questioning, wait a minute, whoa, wait a minute. These people are constantly begging for money to go toward things that have nothing to do with change in our society. This is supposed to be the purpose in the first place. This is why they never talk about the things that I'm talking about. None of these frauds will ever talk about the things that I'm talking about. Rather, they would attack me. They'll call me clown. They'll call me this. They'll call me that. I'm an agent. I work for the government. Let's deal with what I'm talking about. How come you can never, ever deal with what I'm talking about? You have yet to prove anything that you have said to the people is true. And until you do, I'm going to keep continuing to create videos and warn the people that this shit is deception. It's a fucking lie, and it will not stand. It's going down with every other deceptive, deceiving thought, lie, anything related to it. It's all going down, and it will perish because it won't survive. The only thing that will survive is the truth. The truth will always prevail and survive. I want you to remember that when you start realizing that a lot of the things that I've told you recently is starting to come to existence. A lot of the things that I've told you in the past that hasn't happened yet is starting to happen. Now you start questioning, wait a minute. You know, I've been supporting these people for a long time, but Keyboard just gave me some information that these people that I support are against, but yet it's true and accurate information because I see it happening. He said it would, and it's happening. There's your proof right there. The people that you support has yet to prove anything that they have ever said. It has yet to come into existence, and it never will. Because that is not the purpose of what they are doing. The purpose is to get you excited enough to go in your pockets and give them money. That's it. It wasn't meant to do anything else. It's not going to help our society change for the better. It's not going to help you change your lifestyle for the better or anybody else like you. It only benefits one person, Mike Mentellect, and any other fraud that's riding with a hustle. Make no mistake, this shit is a hustle. It's a hustle. Glorified hustle. When you start to believe, this is when they start begging for money. Every single time. They always introduce money at some point and sometime. That's when you know something ain't right. You need to start paying attention to these things. What good is a film? See, this man wants $50,000 toward a fucking film. What good is a film going to do our society, man? Look at everything that's going on. Pay attention to everything that's going on. How's a film going to feed us? How's a film going to protect us from these racist individuals out here that want to hang us from trees? How is a film going to do this for us? It won't. If you got any common sense, you know that it won't. Even a little kid would know that it won't. That film is to benefit him. That film is to have him elevated to a certain circumstance. What about your circumstance? What about your situation? What about your family? Huh? Does it not mean anything? You don't mean anything. Your family don't mean anything. You have to take care of one person and elevate that one person, and then what? What about the rest of the people? Will we ever elevate? And they call that jealousy? They call that hatred? What the fuck are you talking about, man? You got the game twisted, don't you? That's not hatred and jealousy. That's being informed of the fucking truth, because these swindling ass bastards want money, and I'm exposing it, and they mad as hell for it. And their only line of defense is not to stand tall. Oh no. Report you to YouTube. Oh, I'm scared for my life. Now, if I'm scared for my life, you got to terminate his channel now. You know, you got to put some strikes against him because, hey, listen, I'm scared for my life. I'm scared. And I'm trying to report this to all of you, YouTube. That's their weapon against me telling truth on you. That's your weapon. Instead of you challenging the truth and say, okay, well, wait a minute. Let me give the people something that's going to debunk his so-called truth. But you don't try to do that. What you try to do is have me terminated. What you try to do is have me silenced, because you know that I'm reaching a lot of people. But more importantly, you know that what I'm reaching them with is, in fact, the truth. It's the truth. If I wasn't speaking truth about you, you wouldn't even bother. You wouldn't even waste your time, because it wouldn't add up. It wouldn't even make sense. But this makes sense because it's the truth. They will always attack you when you have the truth on these people, because the truth is damaging to their whole hustle. It exposes their hustle, and ultimately it stops the money. I guarantee you this Trump won't raise $50,000. Oh, he's trying his best. And if he was to raise that $50,000, do you think one dime would go toward anything else? He would say every dime went toward this fucking film. And you could tell that the quality wouldn't add up to $50,000. He would spend maybe over $100 creating some bullshit YouTube video, because that's exactly what it would be. If you put his finished film beside any YouTube video, I guarantee you that YouTube video would look better than his finished so-called $50,000 fucking project. I'm telling you, man. And if you don't believe me, compare Tariq Nasheed's so-called $100,000 projects, any one of them, to any YouTube video. One of the better YouTube videos, not one that was created by some fucking kid that lasts for 30 seconds. I'm talking about, where the person has a lot of fans and they put a lot of time and creation in their YouTube video. But that YouTube video still doesn't add up to $100,000. This is why I said put it beside any of these YouTube videos, and then you be the judge. You couldn't come back to me after that and say, you know what? You're wrong, keyboard. Tariq Nasheed's video is $100,000 worth of quality. You could just watch it without comparing it to anything else, just from experience of you watching things all your life, and just observe either one of his videos. And there's no way that you could be honest and come back to me and say, yes, it's worth over $100,000. It's not. It's plainly seen. I've had some of his diehards be honest enough to tell me the truth and say, you know what? I still ride with him, but at the same time, I have to agree with you. None of his documentaries add up to $100,000. Not even one of them. And this came from one of his diehards that donate money to him every time he asks for it. Okay? And I appreciate their honesty. If they're listening, I really do appreciate your honesty. At least you are one of the few that's willing to be honest, yet and still, you still feel the way that you do. But give it some time. I guarantee you that person will change their way of thinking. It's different for each individual. They're not going to have this shit happen at the same time, man. They have to have that moment of clarity at one time or the other. Sometimes it's right now. Sometimes it's next week. Sometimes it's next year. But at some point in time, when you have it, I guarantee you, you're going to go through the 5 stages of grief. And you're going to end up mad as hell at the person that you've been giving money to. But first, you're going to be mad at yourself. Because you stand in between them and your money. They didn't actually hold a gun to your head, but they manipulated you enough to get that money. How many con artists do we have out here? A whole lot. And they call me the con artist. But yet, I don't beg for money. Now, they might have some truth to that. If I was monetizing my videos, if I was begging for money every other week, but I never have. And I don't monetize my videos. I don't make money from this any kind of way. So you can't use that against me. So then they'll move to something else. Well, he doesn't show his face. Again, I don't beg for money. I don't make promises to you that I can't keep. And again, I don't beg for money. So I don't have to show you my face. I'm not obligated to show you my face. Whoever tried to link showing a person's face to whether or not you believe in them or not is an idiot. A person's face has nothing to do with the truth that that person is talking. If they tell you, without showing their face, that outside the sun is shining, and indeed the sun is shining, you mean to tell me you won't believe them simply because they're not showing their face? What the fuck does a face have to do with the fucking truth? Doesn't make any sense. What about the radio? You listen to that all day, every day, and you never see their face. You never see the person. You mean to tell me you wouldn't believe what they were saying, even if it was the truth, simply because you can't see them? That's idiotic thinking right there. And again, that's just another excuse, another thing to try to use to attack me instead of dealing with the facts that I'm giving to the people, including you. Let's deal with what I'm talking about, and we can deal with everything else later on. But I promise you, by the time we get finished dealing with these facts, you won't have a leg to stand on. As a matter of fact, you don't have a leg to stand on right now. Because everything coming from Mike Mentellect is a fucking lie. And from every other fraud out there, the same thing, a fucking lie. They want to get your money. They have to introduce something to you that would make you come off that money. It has to be different from the other guy. They can't have the same thing being talked about between 20 people. Do you actually believe that all 20 people talking about the same thing would actually be able to collect an enormous amount of money? No. It would be split up among them. And some of them probably wouldn't get a fucking dime. So they have to be very creative and also very careful not to have anything just to like anybody else. Tommy Sotomayor raises a lot of money for one reason, because he goes against the grain. He figured out that, you know what, I have to have controversy to make the drama exist in the first place. And so what he came up was going against black females. That topic will forever be controversial. And the things that he says will forever be controversial. And he realized that. That was very smart. I have to really be honest. That was smart. But will it last? No. A lie, a con, never lasts forever. At some point in time, it is destroyed and devoured. And their time has come. You may not believe it. Every day you're going to YouTube and you still see them creating videos and everything is just fine and you're smiling and you're wondering, keyboard don't know what he's talking about. Man, these people are still here right now and they'll still be here in the future. No, they won't. Things are changing. Things are changing for the better. But in order for that change to be for the better, it's going to have to affect everybody. The rules will change. YouTube is about to go through another major change, and I want you to listen up carefully. This is going to affect a lot of people. It's going to make people just pretty much just pack it in and say, you know what, fuck it. AdSense took one hell of a hit, but I'm trying to let you know that it's going to go away forever and never return. Okay? It's not going to rebuild itself. The contract is being fulfilled right now. That's the only thing standing in the way of them just pretty much being terminated. And they will be sending out the Dear John letters to each and every one of you. It's been real. It's been fun. We're sorry, but we have to cut it loose. And you won't receive those last checks if you are anticipating a last check. And you're going to be mad as hell. Oh, you're going to be creating videos talking about suing Google and this and that. Listen, just take the loss and go. Because it won't matter. You're going to waste your time. This is all destiny. Destined to happen. Stop letting these people swindle you. The time to get out is now. Because if you don't, you will suffer for it later. Because it'll be too late. You understand? When they go down, you will go down with them. And you don't want to go down with them. That's not being a martyr. That's just being suicidal crazy for no reason at all. You won't get any benefit off of it. Just like you're not getting any benefit off of it right now. The only one who's benefiting is who? Mike Mentellect and any other fraud that's on YouTube. No one else benefits. Have you not noticed that? Have you not noticed that? Nobody else is benefiting. They make money every day. Their lifestyle changes. It elevates. And you get to watch it elevate. Their lifestyle change. But what about yours? What about yours? The information that you are receiving is supposed to be worthy enough to change your life and anybody else that abides by it. How come change is not coming? How come change is not being seen? We can't accredit anything to these swindlers except for them being able to take your money successfully, continuously, because you continue to be an asshole, a stupid fool that don't want to realize that you are being conned. And you have been conned ever since day one, all the way till the present day, right now, still being conned. You will defend them in my comment section. You'll create videos trying to defend them, but for what? For what? What are you defending? Can you tell me that? You can't say that you are defending change because there is none. You can't say that this thing is legitimate, that you're trying to defend the legitimacy of it, because it's not legitimate. They have yet to prove that it's real. Where's the proof at? Believe me, if they could, they would have the first day. They can't attach any legitimacy to this shit. They need you to believe it. That's their burden. And once they get past that and you do believe it, then they have access to your pockets automatically and anything else that they need. Simply because you chose to believe something that hasn't been proven.